go ahead and get things started. We're going to start with Anna Grantham, and as she said, she's our director of the Leukodystrophy Care Network and our newborn screening efforts. So we'll hear about her programs.
Hey, well, I just want to say I'm so happy to be here with everyone today and grateful to hear everyone's story and just learn a little bit more about you guys. So today I am going to give you, I'll try to be brief, a hopefully brief overview on our Leukodystrophy Care Network and on newborn screening. So, when Hunter Kelly was 4 months old, he was diagnosed with Krabbe leukodystrophy. And at that time, his doctors told his parents to take Hunter home, make him comfortable, and that he would not live beyond his second birthday. But Hunter did live for 8.5 years. And like many, if not most families impacted by leukodystrophies, the Kellys were not given a path forward to navigate Hunter's complex medical needs. Leukodystrophies, as we all know, are horrible diseases. They cause extreme suffering and pain. And for Hunter, and I'll just use him as an example of what so many of our children and adults with leukodystrophies go through. A lot of what he experienced just came directly from the effects of Krabbe disease, pain, irritability, seizures, feeding issues, and many other symptoms. But with proactive and informed care, Hunter's symptoms could have been better managed from the very start through appropriate medications, therapies, medical equipment, and other interventions. And likewise, Hunter experienced preventable complications from the disease. So early on, Hunter got pneumonia many, many times. And it took years for a doctor to finally tell the Kellys that pneumonia could be prevented through the correct type of G tube and respiratory therapy. So if the doctors they were seeing had told this from the very beginning, it could have prevented so much suffering. Just through this proactive multidisciplinary care approach. We believe that families should not have to reinvent the wheel. We want every leukodystrophy patient who is treated at an LCN center to be given these resources and treatments proactively. So our hope is that the LCN will address the navigation of care for all children and adults with leukodystrophies to prevent this kind of suffering and just give children and adults with leukodystrophies the best and longest life possible. Leukodystrophy Centers of Excellence have been a goal of Hunter's Hope since we started in 1998. And the LCN was officially launched in 2015. And the LCN is based on the Cystic Fibrosis Center of Excellence model, which has led to vast improvements in the length and quality of life of children with the disease. So when the first Cystic Fibrosis Center was created, children with the disease were not expected to live beyond 6 years old. And we all know that now, even though there's not a cure for cystic fibrosis, individuals with the disease are living well into adulthood. And there is still no cure for leukodystrophies, but they are all treatable through that same proactive multidisciplinary care. So Hunter and the hundreds of children and adults with leukodystrophies that we've served over the past 25 years are the inspiration for the LCN. And our mission is to revolutionize the health and quality of life of individuals affected by leukodystrophies with proactive, innovative, and comprehensive medical care standards and specialized centers throughout the US, Canada, and eventually the world. One of the core values of the LCN is our commitment to provide patient-centered care. And one of the ways we ensure this is that our steering committee members are all families impacted by leukodystrophies, and they really help guide the work of the LCN. So currently there are 12 certified leukodystrophy care centers throughout the US. And with each of these centers, we have an agreement that verifies that they meet the LCN center requirements. And just for the sake of time, I won't go through those today, but if you're interested in learning more, you can find those in the leukodystrophy section of our website. Each LCN center has what we call a core team, and they're the primary medical providers for the leukodystrophy patients for that center. And they're responsible for coordinating care with a comprehensive, larger multidisciplinary team, and also work with the local hometown team. So each center has a director, an associate director, and a nurse care coordinator. And the care coordinator position is typically filled by a registered nurse or nurse practitioner. And really, this role of the care coordinator is crucial to ensuring that the LCN is providing that proactive multidisciplinary care that I've been talking about. And they're the ones that will help families navigate their loved ones' medical care so that families aren't having to do that on their own. Another key component of the LCN are our clinical practice guidelines, or CPGs. The purpose of the CPGs is to establish published peer-reviewed standards of care to ensure that individuals with leukodystrophies, again, have the best medical care to continually improve their length and quality of life. Each CPG writing group has a lead author who's a medical person, usually a doctor, and then also a lead family advocate, again, to keep that patient-centered care the focus of everything we're doing. And again, these are on our website, so please visit our website if you'd like to see these in more detail. We have an ambitious 2024 planned. Some of the highlights are that we will continue our monthly meetings with our LCN care coordinators and steering committee. And this year we also launched quarterly meetings with our LCN directors. We're working to increase awareness about leukodystrophies in the LCN and the medical community through a variety of methods. We're creating continuing medical education courses, working to have speakers at ground rounds, and then also key presentations to medical associations. We're also growing our partnerships with other leukodystrophy organizations because the LCN is for the entire leukodystrophy community, and we really want other groups to take ownership over this amazing network of centers. We'll continue our partnership with our industry partners as they work toward better treatments for many leukodystrophies. You may have heard already that just last week, the FDA approved a new gene therapy for metachromatic leukodystrophy, and we're hopeful that there will just be more and better treatments continuing to roll out for other types of leukodystrophies, and will be available in the future. We've also created a resource library on the Hunters Hope website with resources for families as well as our medical and scientific providers. Another key component of the LCN is our advocacy for newborn screening. So I'll give you guys a little background on newborn screening, and I apologize if I'm preaching to the choir, but I have a teaching background, so they always say, assume nothing, assume that nobody knows anything. So again, forgive me if I'm being, giving you too many details, but just in case you don't know, newborn screening is a 60-year-old public health program that detects rare and genetic diseases. Each state determines what diseases they'll include on their newborn screening panels. For newborn screening diseases, they're treatable, but only if they're caught early. And the only way to ensure that every child in our country can be caught and treated early is through newborn screening. If you have children, you probably remember that they had a Hill prick just after birth, but you probably did not realize, I know I didn't, that that Hill prick was to provide a blood sample to screen for dozens of diseases through your state's newborn screening program. For leukodystrophies like Krabbe and ALD, early diagnosis through newborn screening is literally the difference between life and death. Newborn screening provides children with the ability to receive life-saving treatment to stop the progression of the disease. With Krabbe, for example, children with a positive screen for Krabbe who receive pre-symptomatic treatment for the disease live a very different life from children who are diagnosed too late for treatment. The children who have had treatment, they go to school, they play, laugh, speak, and most importantly, they live. So although each state determines what diseases to include in their newborn screening panels, the federal government has an advisory committee who helps determine what diseases will be on what's called a Federal Recommended Uniform Screening Panel, or RUSP, RUSP for short. And the RUSP is meant to be a standard that all states follow, kind of like the bare minimum of what diseases should be screened for. It is extremely difficult to get your disease added to the RUSP. They have only added 9 diseases in almost 20 years, which is far too slow. And there are also federal programs and agencies that provide funding to help fund state programs. So, since newborn screening is somewhat of a complex system, we have several ongoing initiatives just to ensure that we're continually making progress on all fronts. We have advocacy efforts on both the state and federal levels, but we also partner with medical and scientific experts to ensure that outcomes for Krabbe newborn screening are continually improving. We have a Krabbe Newborn Screening Council that meets every month, and it's attended by the leading experts in newborn screening and Krabbe, and also newborn screening and medical professionals from states that are screening for Krabbe or that plan to start screening for Krabbe soon. The committee works to create best practices and protocols so that babies who screen positive for Krabbe will have the best possible outcomes. So Hunter's Hope became very involved in advocacy for newborn screening in the early 2000s. And in 2006, New York became the first state to screen for Krabbe. Shortly after that, Hunter's Hope nominated Krabbe for inclusion on the RUSP, and it wasn't added at a vote of 8-7. It took over 10 years of lots of hard work to improve Krabbe newborn screening and to publish the data that the committee that I spoke of earlier required to renominate Krabbe. So in 2023, our second nomination resulted in a tied vote. But we persevered and we kept fighting, and I'm very happy to say that in January of this year, Krabbe was finally recommended for inclusion on the RUSP at a vote of 10-3. And soon we do expect to hear from the Secretary of Health that he has officially added Krabbe to the RUSP, which is kind of a technicality. We fully expect that to happen. So this is a very huge and important step in our goal for every child to be screened at Krabbe for birth. Currently, we have 12 states screening for Krabbe, and our focus now is on nationwide Krabbe newborn screening. And even though Krabbe is added to the RUSP, it's still something we have to do one state at a time. So as always, we're going to continue to work with our families and other advocates in each state until all 50 states screen for Krabbe disease. And we're also partnering with other leukodystrophy groups. MLD newborn screening is coming along. I just attended an ALD newborn screening meeting, which ALD is almost at all 50 states, which is so exciting. CTX is another leukodystrophy that is working on newborn screening. So we're not just focused on Krabbe, but Krabbe has been a big part of what I've been doing the last 13 years. We're very excited to get over this big milestone. So we will continue to work with our Krabbe Newborn Screening Council just to make sure states are ready to screen for Krabbe and that they're following the best protocols and practices. And we're, like I said, we're going to do our part to help other diseases, not just leukodystrophies, but any disease. We attend meetings. I was at a meeting yesterday with the national academies, making public comments, doing what we can to ensure that this process in our country improves and that the maximum number of diseases are screened for and that all children get the chance for the healthy life they deserve. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but I do just want to thank all of you. We could not do any of this life-saving work without you and the support you provide every month. So thank you so much for helping us give these children the best chance at a healthy life.
I just want to add too, I don't want to, make this meeting too long. You know me, I could keep talking, but just how incredible both the LCN and the newborn screening are. And to put it as simple as I can explain it is that the LCN takes care of children that have not been screened and are suffering daily because of diseases, leukodystrophies. So we're trying to, and this is like, every day trying to figure out how we can help the children with leukodystrophies and newborn screening. I mean, to know that we are participating in something that can help change the life of every child born in our country is overwhelming, and it's amazing. So again, what Anna said, thank you so much, because with our community, our Hunters Hero community, and our board, everyone working together makes this happen. And it's incredible what's happening.
Yeah.
It's beyond our ability, really, I think, all of
Yeah.
us to comprehend, but it is incredible.
And thank you, Anna.
Yes, Anna.
Thank you.
Yes, Anna.
Yeah. Yeah, great news on the inclusion of leukodystrophies on the RUSP. Any idea when that will be official?
Well, I've been told 4 to 6 months
Okay.
or anytime, but you should know, if you know me at all, you know we're going to be what I like to call pleasantly persistent with HHS to hurry them along. So hopefully sooner than later.
And Anna, aren't states already talking about and planning to get Krabbe added in their state because of the vote? That's already
Yes.
happening.
Yes,
Yeah,
the best
that's
way to
good.
describe the RUSP, it's kind of like a seal of approval. States don't have to include diseases that are on the RUSP, but they want to usually. And a lot of states have what's called RUSP compliance laws. So Krabbe can be very inexpensively screened with 2 other diseases on the RUSP. And so we do expect that this will roll out quickly. And
Yeah.
it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the next year.
And the work never ends.
Right,
I mean, there's just,
right.
and to know that all that we as a foundation went through for Krabbe, it's just like, wow, there's so much work to be done for so many other children. So
Yeah,
they're not going to be left behind
no.
or left out.
Thank you. Thanks, Anna. And does anyone have any other questions before we move on?
We got a new.
Oh, and yeah, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Phil, another one of our
Hey,
board
Phil.
members
Welcome.
hopped
Phil.
on. Phil, would you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, I'm Phil May. I had a son, Dylan, that had Krabbe disease and lived to be, shockingly to most everyone that told us otherwise, just shy of his 5th birthday. So I've been part of Hunter's Hope for a good while now. Love the organization and the people, and especially the children, getting to see the children. And anyway, thanks you guys for being here. And nothing like showing up late. Then you just put me on the spot. So
You did good.
Thank you. Thanks for being here. All right, so next up, if we don't have any more questions, does anyone have any other questions?
Do you
Yeah,
know what?
Debbie.
I just have one question.
Yeah,
I used to give blood every 3 months. I gave blood. And I'm the one that started the ALD. I'm the one that, and I shouldn't be giving it, right?
Mm.
You should not, because wouldn't it, I'd be passing on that?
that's a good question for our medical experts.
Yeah.
You know, we're not qualified
Debbie,
to
what I'll
answer
do,
that.
I'll reach out to one of our medical experts and ask that, and then I'll get your email from Melissa and I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, I just assumed I stopped, just as soon as we found out what Marty had, just because I thought, well, if it started with me and I have a defective X chromosome, then I'm passing that on.
Yeah, I'll find out and get back to you for sure.
Okay.
A really
Thank you.
good question.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that
Okay,
and asking.
Thank you.
yeah, definitely. All right, Erin. Erin is our digital media manager, and she's going to share about our amazing podcast.
Yes. So, like my mom said, my grandma, this was inspired by her to do this podcast. And it started because we were sharing the stories of several of our Hunters Hope families. They shared about their child, their journey, their faith. And so we just started by sharing other people's stories. And then it grew into my mom and I doing what we called Immeasurably More mini messages, where we would kind of expand on what the family talked about, and just to really encourage more people outside of our Hunters Hope families who maybe don't have a child with a leukodystrophy. And it really just grew from there. We started sharing our faith, sharing our story, and just trying to reach people in our Hunters Hope family, but also outside of our Hunters Hope family. So we started talking about mental health and our faith. And I just want to, before I go any further, I want to share some of the things that people have said like after listening to the podcast and how it's impacted them. So I'm just going to read a few of them. This person says, "Thank you for sharing. God bless you both. You have given me hope when I thought there was nothing left. Every point is so good. Thanks for embracing the hard. It encourages us all to go forward. The more people learn about what it feels like to have mental illness, the more support there will be. Thank you. I loved your podcast, had me in tears. It's not easy being vulnerable like that, but the amount of people you can help when you choose courage over fear." And I could go on and on with so many things that people have said, but to me, it is just a testament to the fact that by sharing what we've walked through, by sharing what we have learned, what God has taught us, it is impacting people's lives in just an incredible way. I know Mom and Grandma, you can both speak to it too, of just the encouragement we've received. And recently we've been, taking questions from people on social media and asking them what they want us to talk about, what's on their heart. And it's encouraging our faith as we're sharing. And it's something that continues to grow. We continue to do. We've had my sister on the podcast, my husband, my dad. We're planning on having more guests in the future, and just continuing to share as God leads us. That's really what we've done so far with the podcast, is just continue to follow God's lead. And a lot of it has to do with mental health. And that's something we find very important in our lives. And also we've seen it touch the lives of so many of our Hunters Hope families and people beyond that. So I'm excited for all that God has done so far and all that he will continue to do. And, there's so many different ways we can grow the podcast. We started small, and like my mom said, 50,000 downloads is pretty incredible. And I think that really just speaks to the fact that God is using it, and he's reaching people in other countries, which is crazy to me. But I also love too how, because this is connected with Hunters Hope, we're able to bring outside people into the fold of Hunters Hope so that they can learn more about what we do at the foundation, what we're all about. And really, like, Anna talked about newborn screening. Newborn screening affects every single child born in the country, and people don't realize that. So I think the podcast is a great way to bring people in that are outside of it. And then I think that they'll want to learn more about Hunters Hope and what we're about, and can hopefully be impacted by it too. So I don't know if anyone has any questions, or if Mom and Grandma, if you guys want to.
I just wanted to say something about the siblings, that the response from the affected families, their siblings, has been amazing.
Yes.
And
yes.
we hope to do some episode, like maybe even a season
Yeah.
with the siblings.
Yeah,
Siblings are impacted.
Yeah, at this past symposium, we did a session for the podcast, and some of the families that had been on the podcast shared their experience, and a lot of the siblings shared their interest in wanting to be on the podcast, and also wanting to just have the siblings have more interaction throughout the year when we're not at the symposium. But this year at the symposium, I would like to get some of the siblings to do an episode so that we can share their story as well, because just like my family, how my mom and my dad have their story when it comes to Hunter's life, and I have mine, and it's different. from a parent's perspective to a sibling's perspective. And so I think that it's important that we share that too. And we're the next generation of people to continue this legacy. So.
Yes. I thank you, Erin. You're incredibly gifted.
you.
Thank you for sharing your gifts with everyone. But I'll also just add, like, Hunter's Hope has always been about providing hope.
Mhm.
And this is just another avenue for us to provide hope to everyone. Not just our Luca District community, but every single person that has an ear to listen and finds out about our podcast. But like Erin said, not because I was going to say this, but you said it. I was like, but also in doing that, we also have the opportunity to introduce people that would never know about this foundation and what we're doing with newborn screening and the Luca District community. Like, they would never know that. So I think it's an amazing opportunity. Yeah. Yes.
I have to tell you that I give the book to everyone.
Oh,
All the books.
Aw,
I do.
that's great. Thank you.
So when are you going to write another one?
Yeah,
Well, answer their
we all have, Erin and I both, we need to start writing.
Yeah,
But thank you for the encouragement.
sure. Well, something, every time there's a death in a friendship or anything like that, it's all, everybody, when they lose someone, it's different, but it's the same. There's still,
Right.
there's certain things that you have to go through, and it's so important to hear that.
Yes.
And, because you do lose your mind. You wake up in the middle of the night thinking, okay, should I have done this? Should I have done that? Should I, it's nonstop. So just gives you some solace, just to
Amen.
be able to read and say, okay, I'm not losing it. That's normal.
Right.
I'm not alone.
I'm not
Yeah.
alone. Right.
Yeah.
Let's lose it together.
Yeah.
We're in this together, losing it, but
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
Debbie.
Sure.
Did anyone have any other questions or comments? Well, thank you,
Did
Erin.
Laura already shared.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you done
No,
sharing?
I,
Okay.
And Erin also, I want to highlight that she's been instrumental in our new look for our social media. So if you have followed us for a long time, you'll notice a big difference. It's beautiful. So we thank her for taking that over and doing such a great job.
yeah, she.
So now it is
Please
my turn.
encourage-
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, okay, no, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm going to quickly share our family programs and our fundraising and development efforts. And I promise to be quick. Okay, so first I'll talk about our family programs. And the reason to share these is to help you to know all that's available for our families, all the resources we have, our programs, and all of these are possible, again, because of people like you who help support Hunter's Hope and our mission. So thank you for making these things possible for our families. So these are a list of our programs and resources available for our families. And I'm just going to quickly review each of them so that you know what they're all about. So the first step for a family is they might find us when they Google their leukodystrophy after they get a diagnosis. They might find out about us from another family. Whatever brings them to us, this is the first step for a family. So they register with us, which allows us to establish contact and be able to stay in touch with them and offer them help through our programs and provide them with resources. We send them out a welcome package when they register, and that has a couple books and a bear and a card in there. And then we just try and maintain contact and be there for them however they need us and help support them through our programs. So our goal for this year is to just continue to do that. We are registering all families who reach out to us and establishing that contact and staying in touch. Next, we have our Hunter's Wish Gift. So since we have parents on here, you all know how expensive it can be to care for a child with leukodystrophy. And sometimes needs pop up that are big needs and that insurance won't cover. or there's just no other way to fund these needs. Things like wheelchair accessible vans, we've done service dogs, handicap modifications to your home. This provides a way for families to fundraise so that they can acquire these needs. And so what we do is we provide a fundraising platform for our families. They create a fundraiser and share it with their family and their friends and their network. Then when they raise the amount that they need to, Hunters Hope matches up to $10,000 towards that need. And so Sweet Alice at the bottom here is a wish gift that we just recently were able to fund. And she has metachromatic leukodystrophy, and she needed a bigger bathroom. She was getting too big to be able to wheel in and get in the shower or the tub. So this, made her bathroom more spacious, and it's more safe for her to be able to be wheeled in there, for her mom to be able to take care of her personal needs. So our goal for this year is to award several gifts totaling at least $25,000, and we are well on our way to doing so. Next, we have our equipment and supply exchange. So again, I think this is a common thread. Insurance does not pay for everything. There are things that families need constantly that are expensive and are sometimes very difficult to acquire. So this program, families can tell us, hey, we need a stander or we need a wheelchair. And we can reach out to our families and see if anyone has one that they are no longer using. And then they donate that to us. And when we find a match, a donating family for a receiving family, we connect them, and Hunters Hope pays the cost of shipping so that that family can receive the equipment. And Sweet Solis at the bottom was able to receive a shaky vest from the Monaco family, and her dad shared that her breathing has really improved since she got the shaky vest, and it's made a big difference for her. And so our goal for this year is to just continue to do this and fill as many equipment needs as we possibly can. And this is a newer program. This is Morgan's Legacy Gift. And this was made possible through an endowment given by the Morgan Project. And this supports families with a gift of up to $1,000 for something that enhances the child's quality of life. So you can see Emma here and her brother, they were able to receive a stroller wagon. So the difference with this program is any disability qualifies. So if it's a lifelong disability, the family is eligible to apply. So Emma was diagnosed with autism and would run off anytime they took her outside or went on walks, and it was very dangerous. So they ended up staying inside all the time. So this, as you can see, she's already enjoying the beautiful spring weather and gets to go on walks now without her mom having to worry about her running off. So our goal here is to serve at least 10 families, and we've already served 5 this year, which is really exciting. So we've done 3 stroller wagons and 2 sensory room makeovers. So we're excited to help more families through this program. And then we have outreach. So this is just, a focused effort on reaching out to our families, seeing how their child is doing, letting them know about our programs, and really building and maintaining relationships with our families, because we do truly love them and we want to be able to help them however we can and make sure that they're aware of all of our programs and resources and determine if they have any needs that we can help with. So our goal is to reach out to at least 10 families a month throughout the year. And then, of course, to respond to all families who reach out to us with questions or needs. And then our Wall of Fame. This is an online Wall of Fame, and this honors children and adults affected by leukodystrophy. And right now we have over 500 children and adults on the Wall of Fame. So you can go on our website and see this. This is just some of our adorable children on our Wall of Fame. And our goal for this year is to add 15 new individuals to the Wall of Fame. Next are cards and packages. So throughout the year, we do send about 800 to 900 birthday and heaven day cards to our leukodystrophy families. And we also send out packages. So these are like the welcome package that I mentioned. We send out grief packages, thinking of you here packages whenever a need arises. And you can see sweet Rumila, she lives in Pakistan, and her dad sent us this picture, and it meant so much to them to receive a birthday card for her, and they just loved it. So this is one of my favorite things that we do. And so we do send out cards. If we have current contact information, you're getting a card. So, and then we send out packages as needed throughout the year. And then this is a new page that we created last year on our website. We realized that our families are sharing every day on social media, and this is a great way for people outside of the leukodystrophy community to learn more about the reality of living with a leukodystrophy. So we created this web page, and it has just links to everyone's social media pages that we know about, so that you can go and learn more about these families and how they live with leukodystrophy. And so an example down here is Sam Buck. He has vanishing white matter disease, and his family has a Facebook page called Sam versus VWM. So this is a great page you can find on our website to learn more about our Hunter's Hope families. And our goal is to just keep promoting this page and let people know it exists, and hopefully add new social media accounts throughout the year. And then we have our helpful resources. Anna mentioned this briefly, our resource library. This is where these family helpful resources are located. That library is for anyone, our affected families, medical professionals, scientists, anyone who is interested in resources can check out this library. Within these helpful resources, we have financial, medical, travel, equipment and supplies, prescriptions, and a lot more. So we just promote this throughout the year, and we hope to add new resources throughout the year. And then finally, I'm going to let this short, it's 60 seconds video, do the talking for the Family Symposium, just so you can get a little glimpse of what the symposium is if you haven't been there.
By us all getting together, we're able to communicate with each other, even though all symptoms are not the same. But there's things that people, families, parents learn when they're here that can help them when they go home, or even help them while they're here.
There is so much love and compassion and joy that you feel. You're at home when you're here.
Originally came here to help people, but I've been helped also. You know, it's a comfort to be with other people who understand. That's why I keep coming back.
What we learn from the symposium, what we learn from each other, you can't put a price tag on it.
So this is obviously one of our favorite things that we do, probably our most favorite thing that we do. And it brings together over 50 doctors, medical experts, newborn screening experts, and over 50 families in person to Holiday Valley Resort in Ellicottville, New York. So your donations continue to make this possible for our families, because Hunter's Hope pays for everything. If the family, even if the family can't travel there on their own and they need assistance, we provide it. So we pay for all the conference expenses, their hotel room, meals. But this is the best 5 days ever. And there's so much hope and love and joy and friendship. And these people create friendships that last for years. And it's so special to see and to be a part of. And they, most importantly, they're with other families who understand exactly what they're going through. So you can see our goals here for 2024. And we are looking forward to this in just, I think it's what, 3 or 4 months away. So we're really excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so before I move on to fundraising and development, does anyone have any questions about any of our family programs? All right.
No, but thank you.
Yes, thank
you
you.
so much,
Yeah, of
Melissa.
course. All right, so real quick, I just wanted to share, the different ways that people can give and what we do for fundraising and development. So they're kind of listed here. And then first is our Hunter's Hero program. And so, of course, thank you again for being a Hunter's Hero. You are so important to us, and I hope that you know that and that we make you feel that. Recurring donations make a huge difference for our families, and they make a significant impact every day for the work that we do. We have a pretty ambitious goal for 2024. So to be determined on the launch date, but we are going to run a special Hunters Hero campaign. And our goal is to get 50 new recurring donors. And when we do launch this, we will need your help and just sharing your story and why you're a Hunters Hero and why you support Hunters Hope and what Hunters Hope means to you will make such a big difference. So we'll be reaching out closer to the launch date to, ask for your help in promoting this program. And then we also apply for grants throughout the year. You can see some of our funding partners here. So we're always looking for new funders and new partnerships and opportunities. So these are just some that provide grants for us currently. And then we just have different ways to give. So all of this information is on our website. We do general donations. We have our appeals. So that includes our end of year appeal that you probably receive in November. It includes our Hunters Hero campaign this year. And then we have peer-to-peer fundraising. So this is used when families fundraise for the Family Symposium Walk, when they are trying to raise money for a wish gift. We also have endowments, which we were greatly blessed with 2 last year. The Caitlin's Butterfly Kisses was a $1 million endowment provided through the Abner family. And then again, Morgan's Legacy Gift was a $200,000 endowment provided through the Morgan Project. So we are so thankful for those and are always open to future endowments. And we also have legacy gifts from donor advised funds. We have special fundraisers. So this is like Wendy's. They just wrapped up their Give $2, Get $2 campaign. We've had lemonade stands, toy drives. People have asked for donations to Hunters Hope instead of wedding gifts. So there's lots of ways that people can fundraise for Hunters Hope. And then finally, corporate donation matching. So if your company matches donations, that's a great way to double your impact. So I know that was super quick, but does anybody have any questions about any of that fundraising or development? Okay, well, thank you. And I'm going to stop sharing here. So this time I wanted to open it up to anything that you might want to discuss. So after everything you've heard today, did you have any comments or further questions or ideas or anything? And if not, it's okay. But I wanted to open this time up because we would love to hear from you, our Hunters Heroes. So this is your time if you have anything you'd like to share. No,
We're covering a lot.
I want to eat.
Yeah.
and of course, if you think of something tomorrow, email us anytime. We'd love to hear from you and get your ideas and any suggestions you might have. So you can definitely reach out anytime.
And
No,
again,
this is great. As we get closer to, looking to bring in those 50 new donors that you referenced, I think a session like this would be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
this is the first of many.
Yeah.
This was really terrific and
Thank you.
Yes.
really good for those of us who have been involved for a while, but really good for people that are not as familiar. And so
Right.
that's great. That's great.
All right. Well, thank you all for being here. And again, please don't hesitate to reach out. We really appreciate and love each one of you and are so thankful for the impact you make for our families. So enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks very much, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.